You're listening to the Vookcast. Wahoo!
Hello, it's the Vookcast. It's episode number 138. This is the Vookcast. We talk about Nintendo. We're from Australia. That's pretty much what we are and do. Hi, I'm Stephen Impson, and along with me is Troy Wassenaar. How are you, Troy?
I'm good now that you got my name right.
Yeah, nailed it. Also, Daniel Worthington is here. Hashtag Worthintendo. How are you?
Hola! Hello, I'm here.
Getting in the Alolan spirit for later on in the episode.
I am drinking from a pineapple and I am wearing a skirt of grass. That's...
It's always been like that, though.
It's my usual work attire. I don't know much else about... if I go to Hawaii, I could be Dog the Bounty Hunter. He's in Hawaii.
So, yeah.
Is that not a thing anymore? Okay. I'm old.
I don't know what you're talking about, but I don't know.
Pearl Harbor.
Anyway, so there's been things happening this fortnight. It hasn't even been a fortnight because we did that extra Switch one.
Yeah, about a week and a half, I think.
Anyway, we're back.
No. The Switch one was literally a day after we did the last podcast. It was like, we did it, we uploaded it, still midweek. And then it's like... Yeah.
That's fine. It was fun to do. But fun to... I don't know. This week, we have... Even though it's weird, Nintendo specifically said don't expect there to be any more information about the Switch until a later stage. We've told you all that we're going to. And there's just been a slow trickle of various Switch information coming out over the last week and a bit. So we're going to have a look and see what it is. What have we got firstly? Apparently the Switch won't be sold for a loss, which is kind of similar to the Wii U. Like, part of why people thought it didn't go too well was the price. Was they priced it at a point where they didn't make a loss on it to start with, so it seemed a bit more expensive.
I thought the Wii U did sell at a loss at first, but
did it?
Over time it got cheaper to produce, and
it was a very short window though.
Yeah, because they didn't drop the price of it. I mean, the Wii U is still basically the same price now as it was at launch.
Yeah, pretty much.
In Australia, I think there were price drops internationally.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, there was at some point.
I think there was at least a European one or a North American one.
I do remember something like that. But yeah, they're expecting to have about 2 million consoles to be manufactured and ready for launch in 2017, or at least to ship before the end of that quarter, which ends in March 2017. So... I mean, there'll be some to go around. I don't know if 2 million is a big number as far as console sales go. But yeah,
I have no idea.
This is all announced at their financial results, wasn't it?
Yes, yeah. I don't know. I'm trying to think. Like they probably aren't making a huge amount of them after the Wii U because maybe they're not expecting it to sell well, but. Who knows? It'll be interesting if we have like a surprise success like the Wii and they just sell like crazy. Guess we'll find out.
I'm going to pre-order mine soon.
Oh, yeah. I think...
I just need to know what's going on with region locking first before I commit to pre-ordering.
I mean, I just want to find out what... I think I'll probably pre-order a little bit later when we know a little more information about it. The only price indication they've given so far is they want to ensure that the device comes out at a price that is in line with consumer expectations, which tells us...
non-answer, isn't it?
Yeah, it tells us next to nothing. Like, do we expect it to be priced like an expensive tablet? Because that probably wouldn't be something that I want, but it might be this thing that it looks like an iPad, price it like an iPad, but
no,
I don't want that. No.
I'm going to Japan next year. I do not want that.
It'll be interesting. Like I don't think they'll be able to hit the sort of the 3DS kind of price point. Like the 3DS and 2DS are at that point where you can buy one for every kid in the family, and it's not going to bankrupt the whole family. But
I don't know if it was the financial briefings they said it, but they did say recently that they want to look at the 3DS going forward as sort of like the family, the system for younger gamers. So that's why that has that price point, and I think that's why they've pushed hard on the 2DS in Japan recently. It's like, here's a system for kids to use, and they can't break it because the 2DS is basically indestructible.
I've been kind of interested to see if that plays out. Like, I don't expect it to continue. I sort of see it as a Game Boy. It'll be the second pillar to the Switch's third pillar. Like, it'll just go away after the Switch comes out. I really don't expect them to keep the 3DS going.
Is the Wii U going to be like a first pillar, but it's like crumbling and almost destroyed at the moment?
It's already crumbling.
It's the floor.
Look, you look at what the 3DS has online for next year, and there's that Pikmin game, there's Yoshi's Woolly World, that Mario Sports game, Ever Oasis, a game we'll get to later. I'm pretty sure in the West we've got at least maybe Monster Hunter Stories, Etrian Odyssey 5 still hasn't come out yet. So like the 3DS has at least a good solid year left of it.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it's... Well, obviously they've committed to supporting it to that point, but I question whether they would continue. I guess it depends on how well the Switch sells and whether it would end up being worthwhile putting development effort into the Switch if that just takes off phenomenally, or keeping a little bit on the 3DS if that sort of is a reliable something to fall back on if the Switch isn't an immediate success.
Well,
I think what's going to happen is because, younger gamers have migrated over to iPads. They're perfectly fine playing stuff on that. So I would assume the more shorter handheld experiences might be going to the smartphones. We're sort of seeing that already with like Mario Run coming up and the Animal Crossing and Fire Emblem games for next year. Whereas if you want your proper Nintendo console experience, here's the Switch. I can't see the 3DS lasting as long as like the DS did, because I think even up until last year, maybe the DS was still getting retail games. But I'm pretty sure it's been a bit quiet for that for a while.
Yeah, I think Pokemon was the biggest supporter of the old generation, while the new one was still around. Where
that was nice because there was the backwards compatibility at that point as well, and that'll be interesting because I know it'll be weird to buy a Switch and then get the new Pokemon game that's on a 3DS. I'll be like, maybe I will not bother.
Well, maybe we'll get Pokemon Stars or whatever they call the third version.
Eclipse.
Maybe.
Yes, for the Switch. Because, that's sort of my one big worry with the Switch is where do my... you guys know me, I more enjoy handheld style games. Like, I'm playing Bravely Default at the moment, but I couldn't imagine playing that on a console because it just doesn't feel like a console game anymore. So I'm worried those types of games are going to go away with the Switch. Like that Etrian Odyssey is got no place on the Switch.
Oh, that'll be tough
map at all.
On the topic of games for the Switch and what has been shown so far, apparently we shouldn't assume that the stuff in the video announcement reveal trailer, we shouldn't assume that they're actual definite games, which, I don't know, I would be surprised if a version of Skyrim doesn't come to it, because that would sell a lot of consoles, even... I'm sure it's playable on everything anything up until a toaster at this point, but still it would be a nice thing to play Skyrim on a plane. But at the same time, I guess they might be preempting, like, people saw the Zelda footage in the Wii U reveal, and like, cool, there is definitely a Zelda game that's coming really soon because it looks so done already. And that led to a lot of disappointment, and a game that's going to be on the next console after the Wii U.
That's the second time Zelda's done that to people, by the way.
Totally, like Space World on the GameCube as well.
So should we also then, going by what they've just said, so we shouldn't assume that the footage of Zelda Breath of the Wild is actual footage of a game that's actually been shown? Because none of that's real footage, but you showed it. No, none of it.
No.
None of it's real. Okay.
The Switch version is cancelled.
I think they're just covering their asses because they don't want to specify what was and what isn't.
Yeah, I guess if a Mario game comes out and it doesn't have kind of Mexican Day of the Dead style stuff, people won't be like, you promised this level, I will boycott Nintendo.
But at the same time, it's a really good idea and I really want it.
Yeah, totally. Like, it's a cool theme that's completely separate to anything they've done before.
Was shown in that, by the way. It's like Zelda, Splatoon, Mario Fiesta, Mario Kart, 2K, and Skyrim. Was that it?
I think so.
Yeah, it was more focused on like console concept than the games. I think the games were just there as to have something on the screen. Yeah. I mean,
it sort of makes sense for Splatoon and Mario Kart for them. Well, no, that's just footage we put in there because part of me is like, I could see them going all out and actually making a brand new game based on what they've got already.
And I reckon it was on purpose that they showed those games, but with new features like the Inklings with different hairdos and abilities, and Mario Kart with a dual weapon sort of thing. They're clearly. And surely they wouldn't do that without I don't know, trying to indicate that that's going to be a thing that continues on to the next console.
For me, the benchmark is if it can run a poorly optimized game such as Skyrim, then it should be a fairly decent piece of kit.
It'll be a monster console.
If it could play that on a tablet-sized thing.
I'm sort of fairly confident that Mario Kart's going to be what we're going to get.
I'm completely okay with that. Like it falls a little bit into the theories that I've had, and I'm sure I've said on the podcast a few times that like they've clearly set up Smash Bros. And to a lesser extent Mario Kart as a platform that they can keep extending on and sort of push to new platforms and just keep without having to start from scratch again. And I would way prefer like Mario Kart 8 plus more than Mario Kart 9 with half the tracks from 8 and then a smattering of tracks from other ones. Like just... I know you've made 8, build on that rather than throwing it in the bin and starting again, I think.
Can I throw something else into that? Do you think do you think Mario Kart would be a launch title? And going one step beyond, do you think it could be the pack-in game?
I don't know about a pack-in game, but I do think it wouldn't surprise me if it was a launch title. Like Mario Kart is the game that everyone likes. It kind of made me play my Wii U again a whole lot, and I would love that on the Switch.
I mean, I just think Mario Kart would be it shows off the capabilities of what the Switch can do, because I think a big pushing point for it's going to be, hey, this is a system you can play with friends, but it comes with the 2 controllers, and if you're just over at a friend's place or you like bloody Karen and like,
damn it, Karen.
I know, it's amazing.
I saw people dressing up as Karen for Halloween and it was great. But yes, if you want to be like Karen, you can bring it to parties and play Mario Kart.
But I mean, look at me. I take my 3DS to work with me. I play it on the train, and I play it on my breaks. And then like, hey, one of my friends says, "Hey, what's that? You got the Switch?" I'm like, "Would you like to play a game of Mario Kart?" And then I could just like click them off and then thing. I know. I just think it makes sense for that to be a pack-in, and it's bloody Mario Kart. It will guarantee that thing will fly off the shelves if it comes packed in with. I would argue Mario Kart's a bigger seller than the mainline Mario series at this point.
I think weird anecdote for today. I went to a friend's place and she had Rhythm Heaven, the new one, and I don't, and we wanted to play multiplayer, so I just did download play. But I still needed a 3DS, and she had to have a 3DS in the game. The Switch, the way that you can do what you just described, Daniel, is kind of like, in a way, a spiritual successor to that concept. Of
Mario
just pick
Party
up and
does
play.
that as well, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, that's also got the thing where you can download the whole game, but you can only play it if you're connected to someone who owns the cartridge. Or
that's awesome.
Game, or whatever.
But yeah, I don't know if it would be a pack-in game. Like, if there is going to be a pack-in game, that would make sense. I just don't know if they need a pack-in game. But I don't know. I do agree with sort of your idea that it would be a good demo of how easy it is to get in-person multiplayer going, being able to... instead of having to go like 4-player split screen and halve the frame rate, or gosh, like in Hyrule Warriors, like cut the frame rate in like thirds and like lower enemy spawn rates and stuff, like everyone having their own full power console that can connect to each other as easy as you can on a 3DS, assumedly. Like that could be a really cool thing, and I hope that that's what they actually end up doing.
Well,
I mean, I saw a big focus in that trailer to like the bit with the 2K basketball stuff, and then the Mario Kart on the bus is like on the car, on the van. Lots of, hey, this is great for just playing local. with friends, and I think that's always been Nintendo's biggest strong point is local multiplayer games.
At least in N64.
It used to call it, couch co-op or couch party play, but now it's not couch. It's wherever you bloody well
bench
want
in
it.
the park, rooftop party.
Yeah, Party Crasher.
I think
can't wait to
something
do that.
else
Poor
that came
Karen.
up around sort of the same topic was that I'm pretty sure it was Game Explained did that interview with one of the people from the trailer, like one of the actors. Yeah, and they mentioned that the consoles in the trailer, they were just sort of dummy consoles with no video running on the screen, which is apparently pretty standard in any sort of product advertising, because LCDs are really hard to film. But like, it's interesting because I noticed some people, I didn't notice it personally, but a few people pointed out to me that the Zelda footage looked like it was running at a like crummy frame rate when it was away from the dock. So I guess maybe this indicates that that's not actually how it's going to be. It might not be as bad as it looks in the trailer, apparently.
Well, that would seem to imply that the dock has some sort of additional processing power, which is apparently not the case at all. So there would be no reason for it to...
Well, I did think about
power.
that because, I did see Nvidia confirm that. I think it was Nvidia anyway. Someone confirmed that there was no separate chip when you plug it in or anything like that. But it also wouldn't surprise me if they were able to boost the power or boost the clock speed of the chip inside the Switch while it has AC power. Because I guess you don't have to worry about running down the battery really fast if it's connected to a power source. So maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I guess we
It's
have
just
to
a
wait.
theory.
A game theory.
Thanks for watching.
No, don't go. We're not done yet.
Oh my word. But yeah, I guess probably to finish up on this little tidbit, I find it kind of funny that you can pre-order all of those games that has been specifically said they don't exist. It's fine, but it's kind of funny.
Just like Project Giant Robot.
Yes. If that's a Switch launch game, I guess we'll find out on January 13.
What's happening
if that's a
January
Switch launch
13th?
game. Well, apparently we're getting a whole pile more of Switch info, which I'm sure Vook is very happy about because he doesn't have to stay up every single night in case NX stuff gets announced. On January 12 in the US, January 13 here, yes.
Stephen, it's not called NX anymore, it's called Switch.
Oh, gosh dang, it is. Anyway, apparently that's information evening presentation, whatever it's going to be. We'll show firstly the actual launch date. So we've got March 2017, but it'll show the actual date with any luck, and price information, which I'm really, really keen to find out. I want to know how much it costs to kind of get a gauge of how powerful and how expensive the entire package is going to be. And apparently some indication of the actual launch game lineup as well. So we'll know, basically it's the day when it's okay to start pre-ordering and you know what it actually is.
Yay. Nintendo
Yay.
being transparent about the Switch.
Yeah.
Who thought we'd ever see that?
Not me. Cool. Anything more to add on that little end part? Any more Switch stuff before we get on to another topic of the agenda?
Switch it up to something else. Sorry.
I get
Well,
it.
I guess that's a sign to switch to Pokemon.
Yeah.
Thank you. I stole your pun. Did anyone want to take the lead on this one? Because I've talked a lot today.
I usually do the Pokemon stuff, don't I?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay.
Pokemon Troy is what we'll call
we
it
know
now.
all of the final evolutions of the new starter Pokemon, and they're all fighting fire type. No,
Well, one of them looks like it, but they're not. Go through them and then we'll have a chat.
So first one I think is Decidueye, which is
that's how I
the
said it.
grass starter. Yeah, it's like deciduous tree because it's a grass type.
And
But it's an
local
eye.
or indigenous deciduous to the place.
Deciduous. Yes, and it's also ghost type. Apparently
That's new for a starter.
I was reading the other day it is based on like a Hawaiian owl that went extinct, which is why it's ghost type.
Yeah, I read that the other day too, and if that's actually where the inspiration come from, that is really cool and
pretty deep.
Kind of, I really like that. Even if it's not actually that, I'm going to imagine in my own headcanon that that's why this thing is a ghost owl. It's a really cool idea.
It's like that thing where you memorize all the type matchups over random things.
Yeah.
Like water's good against ground because the ground will get wet and then it'll split
And it
apart.
soaks up water.
Yeah.
Wait.
Oh no. And now it's mud.
Oh no.
So yeah, and I think it's also got some Archer vibes to it.
Like it's got the hood, like the typical rogue sort of get-up.
Yeah, it's a little Robin Hoodie. Next,
I think it looks a bit ninja-y. I mean, I'm not sort of...
yeah, I can see that.
We already had...
It looks
We
like
already
it
had
could
a-
swoop between tree branches if it wanted to.
We already had a ninja frog. I don't want another ninja thing.
Yeah, true. But in terms of ludicrous, we have Incineroar, which I really don't like that name, to be honest. It just doesn't look like a Pokemon name. It's the fire starter, but it's dark type. Now, what's really weird here is that it's got a sort of wrestling luchador-ish type design to it, which would mean
got
that
like
it's
the
weak.
flaming belt.
It would be
it's
weak
not
to...
I mean,
It's still wrestling.
I'm sorry. As someone who's a wrestling fan, that's not luchador. I mean,
No.
it's got a belt, but it's
Point
not,
being, it's a wrestling-esque design,
Yes.
but it's going to be weak to fighting. But actually, that does make
Paul-
sense.
Holucha. Oi!
Shots fired.
I'm out. Holucha is a wrestling sort of thing. I mean, it's
Yeah,
just
but it's dark
belt
type, so it's
and
going to be weak to fighting type.
Yeah, I know, because it's an evil cat. Cats are bastards.
But
so
it's a wrestler.
Of course.
Which is a type of fighting, and it's going to be weak to fighting. Anyway,
Maybe it'll have like a WWE backstory and it'll be that's why it's dark, because it has a dark past. It's the Undertaker cat.
Yes. Wow. Okay, you've mentioned a wrestler. Okay, I'm impressed.
It is the Hardy Boys of cats.
You played a lot of No Mercy back in the day, I take it.
Smackdown.
Okay.
Anyway, continue, Troy.
and then the last one is Primarina? I don't know yet. It's actually kind of clever because it's like a ballerina and also marina is in there. I like that pun.
Oh, I didn't actually get that until now.
Neither did I, until I said it.
Saying things out loud.
So that's your water starter, which is now water fairy type. I think this is the first time fairy's been in a starter type matchup type thing. I mean, it's not had many chances, but here it is, and it's kind of got like a mermaid feel to it.
Yeah, like a mermaidy tail and like a
Starfish in the
swishy
hair.
Yeah, I really like it. Like, I was not really big on... I can't even remember the names of the... Yeah, Poplio and the second one. But it's straight up like that be careful who you call ugly in middle school meme because I love the final evolution. Like, I don't know, I was kind of all in on Rowlet to start with, but I kind of like Poplio's final evolution enough that I think that might be the one I go with.
I think I still want to start with the cat because I'm a cat person. So...
I'm still down with Rowlet because ours are adorable.
But us, we all picked different sides.
Yeah.
We did not rehearse that.
We didn't even plan that, also.
Let's fight.
No, when it comes out, can do it in the Discord and all have fights there.
Well, actually, while we're in the topic of that, we are speaking of doing some sort of tournament thing in the Discord, but we'll get into that a bit later. Little bits and
Pokemon-wise?
pieces, more Alolan forms that were leaked recently, like Garfield Persian.
Yeah, I saw people talking about Garfield Persian, and I hadn't seen it until like yesterday. They are so right. That is just a big old fat Garfield cat. I kind of like it.
Yeah, I kind of like it too, because it reminds me of my cat. And what else is there? There was the Guardian ones of all the different islands. We knew one of them, and now we got the other three, and they got special Z moves as well.
But yeah, Alolan Persian. Cosmog is one of them.
Apparently it's got some sort of connection to Lunala? I can't remember the name. The bat. The moon mascot.
Oh, right. And yeah, those guardian deities that you were talking about, I hope I don't just massacre these pronunciations. Tapulele, Tapubulu, and Tapufini are the island guardians of Alola.
Yeah, they all got like
cool.
a interesting typing as well.
Let's see, what are they?
Can't remember off the top of my head for the life of me, but one of them was water something, one of them was electric something.
Cool. Yeah, because I guess they are the legendaries of this generation. It's another cool thing. I said it before, but I really like how all in they're going on the Hawaiian influences on a lot of the elements of this game. It's really cool. It gives the game an interesting flavor.
Yeah, no, I went from kind of mild interest in these games because I was getting tired of the Pokemon formula, and the more information I read about this, the more excited I get. So,
yeah, I'm exactly the same. Well, yeah, I guess that's Pokemon. The final part, you can come back now, Daniel. We've got some things to say about Monster Hunter 1010.
1010.
It's actually pronounced, I'll have you know, Monster Hunter Double Cross!
No, it's Cross.
And, yes.
Yeah, Cross. Monster Hunter Cross Monster Hunter.
Double X. And then the next one will be Monster Hunter Triple X, but that's just
we don't go there.
Exclusive. Yeah, Double Cross.
But then we get to 4X Gold Monster Hunter.
Monster Hunter the porn parody.
I was thinking the beer.
Yeah, 4X Gold. Perfect for when you're hunting monsters. But yes, what's happening with Monster Hunter? Please tell us.
So there was a mini direct last week. Got a lot of people's hopes up. It was like, ooh, is this about a new game for the Switch? Is this something for the Switch? And then Nintendo was like, no, it's only on Monster Hunter for the 3DS. So just keep your expectations. Yes. So yeah, Monster Hunter Double Cross was announced for the 3DS. It's basically like the ultimate version of Monster Hunter. We call it Monster Hunter Generations. So it carries over a lot of what was in that game and expands upon it. It's got 2 new fighting styles, one of which was Brave, which seems to be focused more on being aggressive and attacking.
I thought you said Rave, where you just like put on brightly coloured pants and take drugs.
Well, I mean, some of those clothes they wear, and it could easily be raving.
How else do you come up with the idea of a switch axe?
I want to. Is the switch axe is the one that's like it's a sword and shield, and then it's a big axe, or is that a different one?
I don't know. I always use hammers because hammers.
There's a lot of different weapons.
Because when you have a hammer, everything looks like a nail.
Yeah.
I just use longsword at the moment because I find that's good with aerial style. And then, so yeah, the Brave style is more focused on being aggressive. There was another one that was sort of teased at, but wasn't announced what it is, so I'm not going to... I haven't watched the trailer myself, so I'm not going to... Oh, no, I have, actually.
Get your facts straight, man.
And as of everything else, every other Monster Hunter game, there's a bunch of new monsters shown off. I'm sort of very new to the series. Like Generations was the first one I fully got into, so I don't really know what was new and what wasn't. I just saw, that's a dragon with like a cat's head, and that's a dragon with like rocket wings and stuff. So, but you know, it looks really cool. And I am down for it, especially after how much I enjoyed Generations. And now, here's the sort of interesting tidbit. The release date for it was announced as March 18th. Now, the Switch is going to be coming out in March, and I can't see this releasing after the Switch has come out. But also, I can't really see it coming out like a week or so before the Switch, so... Maybe it's going to be a Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate situation in Japan where this comes out for both 3DS and the Switch.
Yeah, I was thinking that might be like the whole... Because 3 Ultimate was the 3DS and Wii U one, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, that would be a cool idea. Like, I don't know if they would do like the... Did they have cross multiplayer on that as well? I can't remember.
No, it's like transfer your saves.
Oh, that's right, yeah. But I mean, that would be kind of cool if this is a Switch game.
Yeah, and I mean, again, if Nintendo can lock up Monster Hunter as a launch title for the Switch, they've won Japan.
Hell yeah. There's Monster Hunter and Splatoon, that's all you need.
Yeah.
And sort of the way that the Switch has been shown off with like co-op and local co-op, that works perfect for Monster Hunter, especially in Japan. It's like, well, just take your system out and go to your local spot with your friends, and then you can just play away. at it. And then for Westerners who prefer to play stuff on a big TV, just, chuck it in your dock and play online. And
literally it solves like that problem that I have with Monster Hunter at the moment, is that I'm not playing it on a weird, tiny little low-res screen, which I've aired my grievances about before. It'll be nice to have, even portably, it'll be a nice big screen to see the scale of these monsters, and they don't kind of look compromised by how low resolution the screen is.
Still won't be as good as on the 3DS, because you won't have everything, all your menus and items nice and neatly on the bottom screen, and your top screen is just gloriously clear of all HUD stuff and just this
I think
open
in
plain
30 years you should have like an autobiography called Daniel Worthington, the everything is on the bottom screen story.
Look, doing touching is good, and I sort of notice a lot of stuff with the way that the games take advantage of the second screen, and like the most recent episode, something like Little Red Riding Hood Zombie Barbecue, is just the whole game field is just across both screens. But then you've got stuff like sometimes it's just nice to have the main screen is just for where all your action happens, and then the second screen is it's your menus, it's your maps, it's your sort of like radar and or various other things to just sort of keep that out of the way of your main gameplay.
Switch screen will be big enough. It'll be big enough that I don't mind that stuff being on the side. Maybe.
I don't know. Different strokes for different folks. But yeah, so that's Monster Hunter. It's a new one. Japan will go mental over it. The West, although Monster Hunter Generations actually sold quite well. I think I don't know if I was right, but it may have been the top selling single format game in July in the MPDs.
Yeah, nice.
So the series is definitely on the rise. It's taken a while for it to click, but I think now they're at the point where it's finally a big marquee franchise in the West. And now, especially on the 3DS, which is like an old system that doesn't get as much attention as it should.
And now we're at the point where we're going to take a quick break and come back with all the games we've been playing.
All right.
Hello, we're back. So we've been playing games this week, fortnight time. I will start with what I've been playing, and which has surprised me to no end at how much I've been enjoying it. Paper Mario Color Splash. I'd sort of put off getting into it because I was working on a review for SteamWorld Heist, which is up on the site now, or should be very soon. But yeah, Paper Mario Color Splash, I was sort of had very low expectations as I was going into it. A lot of people had derided it from its early sort of E3 presentation. I think people didn't like it mainly because it wasn't at that time NX information, and that's what we were all thirsty for, so it kind of was disappointing in that regard. And then as we saw more of it, we saw the battle system, which is cards, which reminds us of Sticker Star, which is, I mean, people have their opinions on it, but it's not the 1,000-year door that people wanted.
It's a perfectly fine game. It's just not what people wanted.
But I mean, yeah, I'm kind of in that opinion with Color Splash. I'll start by saying the fighting system is kind of tedious, especially to start with. Like, you get into a fight, you have a deck of cards, you have to swipe through them on the screen, choose the ones you want, put them up onto a little, I guess, a play field, tap them again to start painting them to increase their power, then confirm that you've painted them, and then swipe them up to the screen to actually use them. So for just basic fights, it started off being super tedious. But like as the game went on and I found out that it has alternative control methods, so you can do it with buttons instead of the touchscreen, I don't mind it at all anymore. Like, the battles aren't a highlight, but they very rarely are, unless it's like a boss fight or something in most RPGs. Like, I find it as interesting, I guess, as just mashing the A button to do basic attacks and grind on basic enemies. It's no less interesting than that. But yeah, I grew to kind of enjoy the fight system. Like you have a couple of different types of attacks. You have jumps, you have hammer attacks, you have multi-jumps, multi-hammer attacks. You can get cards of enemies that you can have sort of as temporary allies that will attack on your behalf. And yeah, the battle system, it's not a highlight, but it's there. But everything else about the game, I am just straight up in love with. Like the writing especially is, I find myself laughing almost every second line of dialogue. I'm just either like giggling to myself or just I just want to take a screenshot and send it to friends every time they say something funny, because like, this, guys, you have to see the funny thing that just happened. I don't, because that would be a horrible spoilery thing for me to do. But yeah, I'm genuinely really, really enjoying just the way the characters are. They make weird sort of commentary on real life things very subtly, which is kind of cute of them. It was
Graphics
like,
look amazing.
Oh, holy crap. The graphics are incredible. Like, it sort of takes the idea of what Tearaway started with, literally everything being made out of paper and cardboard, but sort of has a much more bright and colourful sort of colour palette in comparison. I guess Tearaway felt a little bit muted in comparison. But man, like, you see even little stuff like on the map screen, you defeat the game split up into different courses, as it says, and you finish one, it unlocks a path to a new one, and the path that comes out of the course where you're in on the map, it's made of like shiny shiny paper that sort of folds around the map and goes to the next area. Literally everything's made out of some sort of papery, cardboardy material, and it's gorgeous. Like,
but I've also seen some of the backdrops are like real life, like a kitchen, for instance.
Like everything, like stuff will be hanging as though you're like walking around a big diorama and stuff like that. I love how all in they've gone on the concept of paper. Like,
Nintendo have the arts and craft art style down since Yoshi's Story, in my opinion.
Yeah, totally. That's a good point. Yeah, they've sort of taken that idea of having stuff made out of real life material and applied it here. It's so good. It's so damn pretty, and the music as well. Like, I'm just on a rambling, happy, just screaming time at the moment. But the music is incredible. Like it's kind of like the big band sort of stuff that we heard in Mario Kart 8, except more tracks, more. They'll have like kind of remixes of familiar tunes and new tunes for new areas and stuff. But it's just so cool. Like really jazzy. Well, got like big horns. It's so cool.
Did you play Sticker Star?
I played a bit of Sticker Star. I didn't finish it. I kind of dropped it after a little while, to my shame. But
because I mean, Sticker Star was a lot like that as well. Like where it was had this good sort of jazzy feel to it.
Yeah, it probably did. It's been a while since I played it, and I kind of, now that I'm playing this and I realize that the battle system in this is not as big a deal as I thought it would be, I feel like maybe I should go back to Sticker Star and give it another chance.
I think the big problem with Sticker Star is people wanted Paper Mario Thousand Year Door 2, and it is not that. It is, I mean, the way I look at it is it's basically an adventure game, almost like a Monkey Island style, just puzzle solving. Well, no, it's more like a Zelda style adventure game. Each area you go to is basically a dungeon that you need to problem solve your way through. The battles are just sort of there. I mean, the battles are annoying. That they're there just to sort of break up the monotony of. Well, I don't want to say monotony, but just to break up the exploration of the stages, to give you some sort of sense of peril, I guess.
Yeah, I think sort of that description is fairly apt for Sticker Star as well. Like it's split up into different courses that you can go back and forth between at will, and like you'll find something in one area that is relevant to a place where you were. Like you'll find the coloured Toad Rescue Squad who are like, oh no, our friends have gone missing, and it's just like not an immediate thing that you have to do, but sometimes you'll find them in special areas of other levels, and you find them, it sends them back to their leader, and when you've got them all there, they'll like scale a cliff to open up a new path in a previous level. It's a lot of, I guess, that adventure game comparison is quite relevant. It's more about problem solving and like exploring the area rather than an RPG with character development or anything like that. That's really kind of a holdover from Paper Mario rather than the focal point.
And I mean, I think that this is the way the Mario Mario role-playing games are like now is whereas the Mario and Luigi games, that's your role-playing experience, that's your proper sort of, you got levels, there's grinding, there's like stats and all of that. Whereas Paper Mario, it's more about the exploration, the how can we use the paper mechanics in interesting and fun ways, and whereas...
Like the one new papery mechanic that they bring in, it doesn't have as much as before, like you don't fall up into a paper plane or anything like that. But the one new thing that they've added, which I'm kind of in two minds about whether I like it or not, is I think it's called like the cutout mode. Basically, you can get to certain points where you'll see like straight lines in the background, and you can press Y, and it will you'll pull out of the world and go into like a third dimension, I think it describes it as, and you sit on your little paint can friend, and this giant mystical pair of scissors comes and cuts the level into different pieces so you can walk across previously inaccessible paths. It's a neat idea. I feel like it seems a bit arbitrary when you can use it. Like, I've never found it seemed to make sense wherever it was actually needed to be used. It was either hinted at like, oh, that looks like a straight place, I wonder what would happen if someone were to cut it. Or like, I just get to a dead end where I was like, I don't know how I would get to that place. There doesn't seem to be any obvious path. Maybe if I press Y, a thing will happen, and it does. It doesn't seem terribly well designed to make it obvious when you can and can't use it. But I mean, it's fine. It's not an issue. It's just more I don't really enjoy that as much as it's just a functional thing to get to the next area.
That was a problem with Sticker Star, in that like some of the, you'd get the things, I think that's what they were called, where they were just like, here's a sponge that you can turn into a sticker or whatever, and you'd have to randomly use that in a boss fight, and sometimes you wouldn't know that that's what you had to do to proceed without just randomly trying it. So there was a lot of trial and error, and like to the game's detriment, but outside of that, it was perfectly fine and enjoyable. Yeah,
this has the things as well, like the first thing that you find is a giant fan that's blowing the level away, and you can it's pretty cool. Like, I think there's one boss that I'm up to at the moment that you just gave me an idea of how to defeat. It probably has to do with a recent thing that I found, so that's nice. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
But yeah, no, I've just had a complete 180 on how I thought I would like this game. Like, I thought it would just be I kind of have to play it for review and it might be okay, but yeah, I genuinely I've played it to the point where I have had my Wii U gamepad run out of battery before I've been finished playing, and I had to randomly scramble to find the cable, unplug it from the dock so I could keep playing. I haven't done that with a Wii U game for a very long time, and
it's a good feeling when that happens, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like, man, I've played this game for long enough that I've ran the battery down. Hooray, this is a good game.
Is it a good last hurrah for the Wii U?
I didn't even think about that, but it is kind of a last hurrah for the Wii U. I really like it. It's pretty. It's incredible with the music. The battle system is fine once you've worked out that you can use buttons. It becomes a lot less tedious. Like when I was using the touchscreen, it was just like, oh, do I really have to tap this and swipe that and throw this? It was infuriating. But when I found that there's a button version, it's easy. You don't even have to. It's so bother.
Weird. Like I would have no problem. I actually don't like using the gamepad, because a lot of the games I play, it's like I really could just be using the Pro controller, but you're forcing me to use this kind of unwieldy big controller. Whereas like that, having to flick the cards or whatever, like, I'd be fine doing that on a DS because that's a bit more immediate. It's closer. It's together. But on the Wii U, it's like, this just feels like you're trying to make a reason for the gamepad to exist.
Yeah, it definitely felt a little bit like that to start with. Like, could I really not just select these from a menu? But they do a few kind of neat things. Like, I hope it's not too spoilery, but you find a certain point where sometimes battles will be interrupted by a Kamek or Magikoopa, whatever the name is now. Yeah. And like, you'll come down onto the bottom screen and just goof around with all of your cards, either like hide them so you can't see what they are, or turn them all into basic jump cards, or just basically do weird curses to you. And I know it's kind of cool. It just like flies down from the main screen onto my gamepad and talks to me from that speaker instead of on the TV. It does a couple of things to justify it being on a second screen, and I guess it's probably easier to shuffle through a deck of cards down there than have it weirdly in the way on the top screen. Kind of, as you
Having
say,
it in your hands probably makes it feel a bit more like a personal attack as well.
Yeah, a little bit actually. Like to start with, like when you actually flick it up, or even when you use buttons, when you flick stuff up, instead of having to touch it and flick it, you can still like press up on the D-pad or the analog stick. It still feels like you're sort of throwing things in the direction of the TV. It's just less tedious without having to change modes from being holding a controller to getting out the stylus and doing it that way. Just being able to stay in the same controller context makes it much nicer. But yeah, I think that's about all I have to say about it. It's really good. I think it's worth a try.
It sounds like one of my reviews. It's a good game. It does what it does well.
I think, yeah, just don't go into it expecting it to be Paper Mario or the Thousand Year Door. Go into it expecting it to be a cool sort of adventure game with a okay battle system that might grow on you, it might not. I've ended up enjoying it, but I can't say it's going to be the same for everyone.
It's so funny that what people think of as Paper Mario is now the minority of what the Paper Mario series is.
Paper Mario hasn't been that for a while.
There's 5 Paper Mario games, and only 2 of them are like that basic RPG that you want. Whereas everything else is like different and bizarre.
So yeah, give it a try. If you don't like it, you can return it at some retailers. So I guess that's a thing. So yeah, that's it for that. But apparently Troy has been playing Mario Party Star. So take it away, Troy.
Star Rush. That's my segue. Yeah, I only got today. I got it because I'm going to be driving down from Canberra to Melbourne for PAX. And I wanted something to play in the car and in the hotel with my friend. And I started playing today to unlock stuff.
Maybe Stephen, if you guys meet up.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe. Hang out in the handheld lounge and play Mario Party.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah.
Old hands.
So
Cool.
I went in with no expectations. Mario Party's kind of turned into this weird... Nintendo just like dumbing it down more and more and more till it gets to a point where it annoys all the original fans.
Yeah.
Whereas
kind of
this
like Paper Mario.
Yeah. Whereas this one just feels like it's actually a whole fresh direction. There's no group car or anything. The main mode is Toad Scramble. And the only game that I can really compare it to is Fire Emblem of all things.
That's an interesting comparison. I really look forward to you going into that.
So it's like a strategy game.
So you had my interest, and now how does it?
You had my curiosity, and now you have my interest. I think that's the order.
I need to watch that again.
It's a good movie.
I love it when Brad Pitt plays a racist asshole.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Gosh.
Oh, Brad Pitt's in Inglourious Bastards. Okay.
Yeah, that's from...
Anyway, yeah, Paper Mario, the most un-racist and not horrible
Mario
game ever.
Party, Stephen, get it right.
Oh wait, whoops. I should stop talking. Please tell me why it's like Fire Emblem.
So it's...
Tell me why Mario and Luigi Party game kart is good.
Tennis.
Yes.
Golf Rush. So it's basically top-down... It's not a board game where it's like the linear paths or anything. It's a pure grid. And the grids have different shapes and everything. Everybody rolls and moves at the exact same time.
Yeah, I did see that in the early trailers and stuff. I'm keen. Yeah, what do you think that works well? Does it sort of shake up the formula a bit?
Streamlines it because handheld gaming, like Nintendo have always said this, they want handheld games to not last forever. They want like quick bursts. And Toad Scramble is definitely all about that.
Yeah, I can't imagine sitting on the 3DS for like the 90 minutes to 2 hours it takes the average sort of old-style Mario Party game to finish. Like,
there are modes that
get
kind
bored.
of have that philosophy to them, but Toad Scramble is just a quick...
Toad Scramble? What happens there?
So, yeah, everybody moves... Everyone's a toad.
Okay.
And you pick up Mario characters as allies, so Mario, Luigi, Yoshi, etc. And they join your party. And for every party member that you have, they also roll a dice. Or they have special dice, like Daisy will have 3, 4, 5, and then 3 blank spots, which will be the number in your party. So if you have 4 people in your party, you'll have 3 sides that have 4 on them.
Okay.
this as an example. They all
So I
have
guess it's
different dice.
a little strategic as to who you recruit. Like, do you have choice in which characters you get?
Yeah. As long as they're
Okay.
close enough to you, you have to be the first person to get to them. There's no double ups or anything.
Ah, righto. So I guess, yeah, you sort of prioritize where you go, and that's part of your strategic direction of the game.
Yeah. And then when you have a full party of 5, you get like 5 dice rolls in the same turn, which is awesome. But there are boss battles, like, you know how boss battles are a thing in Mario Party now?
Yeah, yeah.
Where everyone's involved and there's checkpoints and the boss's health. What I didn't realize, it's... If you've got 5 people in your party, all 5 of them are present for the boss battle on top of everybody else's party.
Oh, okay. Wow.
So I had like 10
It's gonna
people,
get complex.
10 characters running around. They're all CPU characters. And then
And that's
me.
just in a 2-player match.
I was a single player. That was just
Oh,
me.
wow.
With 3
That's going to
three
get
CPU
ridiculous if you have
toads.
like 4 people with their own teams.
I know, right?
Did you guys play the on Mario Smash Brothers on the Wii U?
Once.
The board game mode?
Yeah, it does kind of...
Because in that you were collecting characters to use.
Yeah, it does resemble that a tiny bit. In that, you know, you go over a space with that character on it and then you recruit them. But they're used in different ways. And that's just like the one game mode. There's dozens more. Coinathlon, which I've only done the one of. It gives you a whole bunch of mini games that involve collecting coins. And there's the linear board, but there's no turns. It's just there's a certain amount of spaces on the lap, and you have to do 3 laps. And you go forward the amount of spaces of coins that you collect. So if you collect 20 coins in a couple of seconds, you'll move 20 spaces forward. So it's literally a race. You see the characters running around the board as you collect coins in real time.
Okay, I guess that makes the name Coinathlon actually make some sense.
It was... it was like pinball where you're shooting Koopa shells up and collecting coins.
Okay.
And for every coin you get, you move forward a space, and they're literally just running around because you're collecting so many. It was just... I was not expecting it. It was actually really fun.
Huh. Neato.
I'm
Cool.
interested in picking it up once it comes out. It hasn't come out in the US yet, so I'm still
Yeah.
Poor you.
waiting for
Well, worth mentioning as well is that you only need one friend to own a copy. You can download the guest party version, which is the full game.
Yeah.
You still make progress, you still unlock characters and modes and stuff in that version. You just can't play it unless it's connected to somebody with the full game.
So on that, is that something that you download from the eShop ahead of time, or is
Yeah.
that something you download from like Download Play?
Download Play gives you 3 out of the 6 multiplayer modes, whereas the party guest version will give you all 6, and it will track your progress.
Okay. Well, everybody listening, download that before PAX if you're going to go to the Handheld Lounge, because that would make the Handheld Lounge a lot of fun.
Yeah, find me in the Vooks shirt and I'll play with you. Yeah, that's all I've really got up to today with that. Only played about 2 hours of it. There's a balloon rush mode, which kind of resembles the amiibo boards in Mario Party 10, so it's a little boring.
Yeah, that sounds like it might be
It was
tedious.
20 turns, and it will just arbitrarily give you boss rounds, and it was like 6 boss rounds
stop.
in it. And I did it for the experience, because you level up to unlock things like new game modes and characters.
Yeah.
So I got to that.
Well, I guess you can't have all the good game modes.
No.
Yeah, I'm kind of happy that you can play with only one person having it, because I can't remember how the DS and GBA ones worked, but I seem to
It's
remember the
usually download
GBA
play.
one kind of being limited.
Is it one of them like single player only?
Yeah, one of them was. But yeah,
Because yes, that's what you would do with Mario Party. It's a party for one.
yeah, it's a party for Karen.
I was just about to say, party for Karen.
Well, yeah, I'm keen to give this a go, and I'm glad that I don't have to buy it to give it a go. It'll be a fun thing to do.
Yeah, we'll get a party of 4 and we'll all destroy friendships.
Hooray!
What about a party of 5?
Well, that's too many. Nintendo don't know the meaning of
That's
5.
an old TV
Unless it's-
show.
I made a
Frogs.
reference earlier on, Daniel, you non-listener man.
Sorry, I'm tired. I was editing a video at 5:30 a.m. this morning.
which we'll talk about when we finish up the podcast a little bit. But yeah, I guess that will cover the games that we've been playing for the last couple of weeks. So we'll take another quick break and come back to wrap it all up tighter than a burrito from Guzman y Gomez. Hello, we're back to finish off the whole thingamabob. So I'll just quickly cover what's been going on the site. It's lots of news. That's what's been going on the site. There's my review for SteamWorld Heist will be going up very soon. So if you're keen for my opinions beyond what I said on the podcast last fortnight, that's something that's going up. I guess, yeah, one of the other major things that's been going on was the Vooks Games Night on the Discord the other day, and I'll pass over to Troy to give us a bit of a recap, because that was awesome.
Yeah, so we had our first games night on the Vooks Discord. I set up a Mario Kart 8 tournament, had people join between certain times on Saturday night, I believe I had it.
Yes.
And we had 19 people place. I think we had more people playing and just didn't do the full 8 races. Yeah, I think people had fun with it. I had fun with it. I had a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, only to speak for myself, but that was great fun. Like, I was able to jump into the voice channel and just generally talking to people while playing Mario Kart is not a thing that I've been able to do for a very long time, apart from obviously in person. But that was, just cool to talk with other people that are, they know shit about games and talking stuff about how much we enjoyed Triforce Heroes and talking about how the Switch might make stuff like Hyrule Warriors better. It was just a fun night just of chatting with people and playing Mario Kart kind of as a social background thing. It was really cool.
Yeah, so definitely join.
Remember the old days of playing Mario Kart DS and all being in like a MSN chat group and trying to say, I can't see you, can you see me? No, I can't see you. I can see you now. And
yeah, that's gone.
Yeah. I'd argue that this is a little bit better.
But yeah, that was a learning experience as well, so I know how to really set up the tournament for next time. And people are keen for the next one. I put up a poll, Mario Kart 1. Second place was Splatoon, so that'll be the next gaming night. That'll be on the weekend after PAX. So 12th of November. It'll be a tournament. Sign up now. Hopefully I'll have the form up.
Should I hold my breath for a Resident Evil Mercenaries night?
Well,
I'm joking. I know no one else would like to play that.
As a semi-serious answer, I do want to set up nights where people can try and find people who are playing less popular games. So like your Triforce Heroes and your Metroid Prime Federation Force. Games that to finish co-op and just... Yeah.
Just the kind of stuff that you want to play with friends, but you don't have the friends that are sort of wanting to play it with you, I guess.
Exactly.
What's that third-person shooter that came out on the 3DS?
Ironfall?
Yeah, Ironfall. Yeah.
Yeah. If you really want to play that, join the Vooks Discord and ask around. Who knows? Project Treasure or whatever that came out as, Lost Reavers, I think it was.
Oh gosh. My god, I forgot all about that.
Right.
If you for some reason want to play that, you might find another lost soul in the Discord who will play it with you. Maybe we should all just play it for a laugh.
It's a free game, for Christ's sake. It's like...
So yeah, Splatoon is the next one. I'm thinking of doing Smash Brothers the next weekend, but that's also a Pokemon weekend. At the very least, I think
that's exciting.
Probably the 26th of November, I might do like a small Pokemon tournament in Sun and Moon. We'll see what the options are in game and gauge the popularity of it or no. Blah, blah, blah. So many words. Yeah, join the Vooks Discord. It's where the cool kids are.
Definitely, I can attest to that. I'll throw a link to join it in the show notes for this episode. So if you haven't joined it already, that'll be a cool way to do it.
The coolest.
Yeah, so The coolest, yes, because it'll be my link and it'll go to my stats, yes. And the one other thing, which we finally do have to cover, it's been a long road to get here, but Daniel has some news about Touching and how good it is.
Latest episode of Touching is good's up. Not the Dragon Quest one I planned, just because...
Because you were slowly going insane.
Nah, well, I mean, I probably could finish episode 3 for the part 3 of that now if I wanted to. It's been... I really want to finish getting all the footage for all the Dragon Quest games before I move on to that. And I conveniently happen to have footage from last year that I never used for a Halloween episode, which was these 2 games.
12 months in the making.
I mean, I recorded all the footage before I went on my holiday last year, and then when I got back, I just didn't get it done in time for Halloween, and then it's like, I can't just put out a Halloween one in the middle of November, because that's stupid.
You missed your opportunity.
So, I mean, it's a special Halloween one. It's focusing on 2 awesome DSiWare games, Little Red Riding Hood Zombie Barbecue, and Go Series Undead Storm. Just... 2 super underappreciated but really, really, really good games. Especially Little Red Riding Hood. It's just like a great sort of old school vertical shooter where you happen to play a really sexed up version of Little Red Riding Hood taking down hordes of zombies that include like a zombified Santa Claus or a giant zombie Pinocchio. It's bizarre.
Because of course.
Yeah, okay, one of my favourite things about it is, like, it's set in fairy tale land. You travel such areas as the road to Granny's house and up to Santa's thing and Tokyo.
Of course.
Because, yes! So, cool. Whatever. I'm not questioning any of it at this point. It's just shoot shit.
Cool. Well, yeah.
But yeah, Dragon Quest, hopefully sometime in the next few weeks. I am plugging away at Dragon Quest Monsters Joker 2, so I'm finally at the point now where that's sort of clicking with me, so once that happens, I usually tend to get them done a lot quicker.
So if you've been craving more Daniel than you can get on the podcast, there is now a little bit more Daniel for you.
I also have a YouTube thing I do now, separate, which is my back vlog, where I vlog about my backlog.
Yeah, I'll totally throw a link to that as well if anyone wants even more Daniel. So much Daniel to go around.
You can be one of the ones of watches.
That's fine. You could get in on the ground floor of this grassroots movement of fandom. Well, yeah, I guess unless there was anything anyone else wanted to bring up, that's... No? Cool. No. Cool. Well, yeah, that's that for another episode. Thank you very much, everyone, for listening. It's just heartwarming to see the numbers go up because people listen to us ramble on about garbage. We were in the break. We were talking about how nice it is that people actually listen to us. So thank you very much for that. If you want to be super cool, leave us a review on iTunes. Throw some stars there. That will be really nice of you also. And if you want to see other stuff on the site, it's Vooks.net, books but with a V. On Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all the social biggly boos.
Fine.
Don't bring that up. I'm still very raw about that. And yeah, if you want to keep up with us individually, I'm on Twitter. I am at Stephen Impson. And where is Troy? Where are you at?
At Stew Review.
And Daniel?
At Worthington.
Coolio. So yeah, that's that for the episode. We'll catch you guys later, and I will catch you on the flip side, buddies.
Coolio.
Peace, 2016.
I can dig it, Daddy-o.
oi. The timer than a burrito was mine.
It's a throwback.
You come up with...
I'm doing
It's a throwback if I do it. I didn't give you permission to do that. Let's
Mate.
take a break now.
Do you want to say it? You can say it and I'll just swap it in.
No. The moment's
It's about
gone.
principle.
Yes.
Oh, well, now I'm going to have to redo it, otherwise you'll get grumpy.
No. You leave it in because the comedy, it works.